So, it's been a while since I've done a voiceover speed paint. It's been like, what, my Greek Gods and Goddesses My Little Pony video, right? That was a few weeks ago, maybe a month or so. Anyways, so today I'm going to be talking about my old Voltron OCs. You know that show, Voltron Legendary Defender? Yeah, it's a good show. So yeah, these OCs became an original story. So let's get started. Right, so first off is the head of Voltron. Um, she was the Shiro of the group, except for definitely more traumatized. Her name was Isley. None of these characters had last names, by the way, so I'm going to be referring to them by their first names. Anyways, so this is Isley, and she was the head of Voltron. She was the Black Paladin. She was like 19, and she has like a very angsty backstory. Her family was like killed by the Galra, so now she has a personal vendetta against them. But one of the people on Team Voltron is Galran, and like they know some Galrans, and like she has a really hard time trusting them. So her whole arc is her learning to trust her Galran teammates. But in this new story, she's still going to be 19, but it goes to this new academy place, and has to learn to trust the race of alien that is on her team. She has to learn to trust them still. So she goes to the academy and becomes leader of this like little space team or whatever that's filled with aliens. She's the only human. They all used to be human, but I changed it. Anyways, so she has to learn to trust him. And also her family is still dead. She's still relatively the same, just not Voltron. As for the outfits, I'm drawing them all in the school uniforms that I'm starting out with. So they're kind of like this mustard yellow color with like a darker yellow pocket. And that's basically it. I haven't drawn them in their like spacesuits yet because I haven't decided on that part yet. But, so this character right here, well, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Anyways, Isley's just, like, she's pretty great. She was one of my favorites. She's just always kind of been a grumpy girl. I actually made an entire playlist just for her, and it's filled to the brim with just edgy music, and it's beautiful, and I love it, and it all fits her so well. Anyways, let's go into colors. Isley has black hair and green eyes, so obviously she's going to be like that. She's going to keep that because she's still human. She's still going to be human, unlike the rest of them. She's also, I meant to make her look a little paler, but like, I like this look anyways. As for personality, she's grumpy, mistrustful, she has a hard time trusting people. I did give her like a little mole above her lip, because why not? Skin blemishes are yes. And really, I just gave her an expression that will show her personality, which is just grumpy. And then I went on to shade and stuff. I did give them all, well, not all of them, a lot of them last names. Only 2 of them didn't get last names, but that's because of the race that they are now. They don't have last names because lore. I actually created all these characters, all these alien races, so it's a lot of fun to talk about them. Anyways, I'm just adding highlights and shading now, so we can go ahead and watch me do that. next up is the character formerly known as Thomas. He is now Tordek Sanal. I just stole some names from a D&D handbook, so that's how he got his name. I was looking at dwarf names for my friend's character. I was helping her name it, and I saw those and I was like, yes, that's a perfect alien name. So that's his name now. The name of his species isn't really worked out yet. I haven't decided a name yet. But I do know that they're basically just like these really buff orc-like people who are also like they also have tails and stuff and like whatnot. They're also purple. I made them purple because I wanted him to be purple, but then I remembered that Norman was going to be purple, and I was like, the boys can be purple. Anyways. So I gave his uniform, like, ripped off sleeves to show how buff he is. I am not really good at drawing muscular characters, so drawing him was kind of a challenge for me. I did give him some, like, tusks, like orcs have in D&D and such. His uniform is the same as Isley's, obviously. So I think his spot, well, he was the blue paladin when he was a Voltron OC. Yeah, he was the blue paladin. So he was basically the Lance character, except for not. He was just like an anxious baby, but he's precious, and I love him. I gave him some spiky hair because why not? He has ears like a human. I might change that later because his species is still in the design stage. But that's just what I gave him. Let's see, his color scheme. Obviously, his skin is purple. He has this like really, really dark brown hair. It's like brownish, blackish, but I didn't want it to be black like Isley's, so I was like, let's make it more brown than it was black. So, his hair is just like really brown. His eyes are green. I gave him these green sclera because why not? So that's what he has. And, his tusks are basically just like a bone color, because why not? So kind of like yellowy. And that's really it. I'm thinking his species might be able to use their tails for like combat or whatever. This story hasn't really been fleshed out a lot, but it's nice to give these characters purpose again, so I wanted to talk about them. Anyways, that's all for Tordek, and let's move on to the next characters. Our next character is Tessa, or now known as Tin. So she and her sister are the ones who didn't get last names because their race of alien, who are called Travians, by the way. These are a race of aliens in another story that I'm writing that's set in space. One of the main characters is Travian. So, of course, I have that race all flushed out. So, basically, Travians are just like these spiky green people who live on a desert planet. That's the basics of it. So, the more in-depth version is they have like spikes and stuff like all over their body. They have one on the side of each knee, and then they have one on each shoulder. These ones on the shoulders, they grow really, really fast. And they also have horns instead of ears, and they're just huge, tend to be curly like ram's horns. And their backs are also very spiky. They just have like a row of spines on their backs. And then if you run your hand through their hair, it's also just spiky. It's not just like a one-way thing like how it is with some people's hair. It's just spiky all the way around. So my friend actually helped me come up with these aliens. She helped me design them and such because I was trying to think of a race and stuff. Well, a race. He already had a race, but I was trying to think of like a design and stuff for these aliens, and she spent the lunch period helping me figure them out. So thanks to her, she's great and I love her. She doesn't have a channel, otherwise I would shout her out. So anyways, Tin, well, the Travian race, they don't go by family names. They don't have last names because that's stupid. When they all live together in one tiny house with all their extended family, why would they need to have last names? The names for the actual names of the people who live there, like their given names, like Tins, those are like keyboard smashed. I slam on my keyboard a lot, and then I look at one that looks good, and I use it. Anyways, so yeah, she's one of those. These Travians they're a very green people. So their skin is green, and their horns are green, and their little spikies are green, and their hair is green as well. But their eyes are the only thing about them that aren't green. So even the insides of their mouth are also green. I thought I should let you guys know that. Because you'll be seeing that with the next character. So yeah, they are just green, but their eyes can be different colors. Speaking of their eyes have they have white scleras, and they have, the normal iris and whatever, but they also have a ring of a different color, typically amber, around their eyes. So that is what makes their eyes pretty special. You're going to be seeing me add it in a second because, yeah, right here. That's where the ring comes in. Tessa, when Tin was a human, she had dusky brown hair and green eyes, but I changed them to blue because basically all my characters had green eyes, and that was stupid. So she didn't get green eyes. But yeah, here is Tin. Next is Naga, who is Tin's twin sister. I did a thing where I took Tin's line art before I had drawn her hair and stuff, and I saved it as a picture, and I just transferred it into Naga's picture. Anyways, Naga's last name, not last name, like her former name when she was a Voltron OC, she was Nessa. So Tessa and Nessa, they were twins. She was the red paladin, so she was the Keith of the group, and she was just like angry and snappy and just all around a Keith character. So she's also Travian, and I talked about Travians a lot. Also, I probably should mention, Tin was the yellow, I think. Yeah, she was the yellow paladin when she was a Voltron OC. So, yeah, so Naga, basically the same. She and Tin are twins, so they look exactly the same, except for she got shorter hair. So when they were human Voltron OCs, they both had the same dusky brown hair and green eyes, except for Naga's was short. That was the only defining difference. In this picture is where we see the green insides of the mouth, because I turn her tongue green. So really there's not much to talk about here. It's just basically a copy of Tin, but with short hair. So there it is. here is our final paladin, our green paladin, the Galrin on the team. This is Norman. So Norman got to keep his name just like Isley did because I was like, hey, why not? But his last name became Wyvern, like the kind of dragon. So I made him basically a Galrin because why not? So he's still purple and he's still big and furry and he looks kind of like an animal. But he doesn't have like the cool ears as a lot of the Galrins did. He just has like these floppy sheep ears because I thought they were cute. So Norman was like anxious and shy and all around not a very talkative person. He was the Green Paladin, really. He was also very, very afraid of Isley, mostly because she had like this vendetta against his kind, and he was just like, ah. So Norman just got to be all purple, and then his eyes are the only thing about him that have any color, but they match the uniform. So he got yellow eyes. I never went through his bio that I wrote, which was very pathetically written. I never looked at it to see what color his eyes were. They were probably like the blue, purpley, black thing, whatever that Keith had or something, because that was the only thing that I could go off of for Galrins, aside from Crolia and a few others. So yeah, he's just like an anxious being, shy. I did give him a lot of hair, but he doesn't have a tail like Tordek does. So really that's Norman. He's anxious. I'm thinking his species is still going to be causing intergalactic war with Earth, because why the heck not? So yeah, I did give him like a larger nose than a lot of the others. He has like the Greek nose, the one that's like very big and flat, and it's just gorgeous and I love it. So he got that. Here you can see me adding his sheep ears. Those get to be the same color as his skin, by the way. His hair gets to be a lighter purple than his skin is, and his skin's kind of like a darkish purple. And then, of course, his uniform is the same as everybody else's. His hair is shoulder length, and I think that's about it. He's still probably going to stay afraid of Isley, because why not? It's part of his personality. But yeah, he's the tech-savvy one if you've watched Voltron. So yeah, that's him. we get into the characters who aren't a part of the main team, per se, of Voltron. So this character here, this is Casey, and she was my first ever Voltron OC. She was also a Galrin, but now she's the same species as Norman. So she got to keep her human-sounding name because that species has human-sounding names. So basically, Casey's whole deal was she was a part of the Blade, I think that's what it was called in Voltron. So she worked with like Crowlia and all the kind of stuff. So like Keith's mom and such. She worked with them. She actually was found by them as a baby and was raised by Crowlia. How OP can that be? She's just a sweet little baby, and I love her a lot. So yeah, now she's the same species, so she gets to be like Norman, which is very hairy and purple. She was already purple, but so with Norman, I decided that the entirety of the species all looks relatively the same, and the only way you can really tell them apart is like height and like size and like gender and maybe hairstyle, because why not? So now they're all purple with yellow eyes. She still gets the same lamb ears. I might change up her like whole deal a little bit, maybe give her a piercing or two, because she was supposed to be the cool friend. She's actually the character that Isley ends up dating, in my Voltron series. Well, not series, but like my Voltron version of everything. So, yeah, she was the character that Isley kind of like, she was her first introduction into Galrins being nice. So now it's this species being nice. So this species is the one who are like starting war against other galaxies and stuff like the Galrins in Voltron. But these two characters right here, they're like refugees or whatever that escaped the planet to be good. So yeah. Casey is not going to be a part of like Isley's team. She's probably going to be on like another team, maybe with the next two characters, and then I'd have to create like two more to be on their team. But she's kind of a major minor character now. She was a lot older, I think. Like she was probably in her 20s. Maybe, I don't know. I'm pretty sure she was around Isley's age, so that's why they ended up together. So with this new story, I'm probably going to keep the whole adopted by some space people or something story. But she's just going to be herself. She's just going to be the beautiful, wonderful Casey that I absolutely adore. So yeah, she was just great. She would hang out with the Voltron team from time to time, and like, she'd cook them food, 'cause yes. So yeah, that's Casey, and yeah, she's great. This next character was the Allura of my little Voltron universe thing that I created. So she's the Altean princess, basically. That's what she was. In the little AU I'd created, she was Allura and Lotor's daughter. Don't ask, I ship it, and it's a good ship. I like enemies to lovers a lot. So yeah, she was their kid, and she was just, the princess and whatever. She would run the castle. She didn't really have a design that I would draw all the time. She wasn't a character that I would draw at all. Like, I had never drawn her, so this was the first time I got to draw her. And yeah, she's great. So she used to be called Amara, but now she is Agse, Agse Larquin. Agse Larquin. That's her full name now. And I actually have a species name for these guys. I keyboard smashed it, like I did Agse's name. They are called Kosovs, and they're basically like elf-like characters, elf-like people. So like they have the pointy ears like Alteans did, but they don't have the markings. And then their hair is predominantly white, a whitish gray color, and their skin is blue, 'cause why not? And then I decided that it's a whole royal family thing that they have pink eyes. Did I mention she's going to be the princess of her species? So yeah. So that's what she is. She's that. I haven't really gotten much out about these characters, like this species. I'm probably going to be working on like developing the alien species and stuff of these in this world. It's still kind of it's set in the same world as my other space one, but probably like in a different time period. So also, I should mention this before I forget. The female Kosovs, they don't have big breast areas. Like, I don't know, it's a thing that I wanted to happen. Like, elves are normally all pretty and sexy and whatever. Yeah, no, I changed that with this species. So she's just blue, and she has small boobs. She wears the same uniform and whatever. She's probably going to be on the same, like, space team or whatever as Casey. And then this next character happens to be her little sister. So she was Lotor and Allura's other kid. So yeah. So we're just gonna watch me speed through, well, not speed through, but like shade and finish coloring, whatever. So yeah. And finally, our last character, Agsay's little sister. Her original name was Zuri, and she got to keep it, so she is Zuri Larquin. I don't know, it sounded very alien to me, even though, like, it's a real name, like, it's an actual name that I found on a common names site, because that's how they all got their names. Actually, Isley didn't. It was this random word that my math teacher came up with, and I was like, oh, that would make a great name. Anyways, Isley aside, Zuri was, the little sister of then Amara. She was snarky and sassy and like really good with tech and whatever. She was just a lot younger. Um, and than the team, so she really wanted to be taken seriously, so that's why she pulled a lot of pranks. But in this redesign, she's still going to be younger, but she's not as snarky or sassy. She's just kind of quiet, reserved, calculating. She looks kind of sad when I finish drawing her, but I promise you, she's not. She just has that look. I give her these hooded eyes because I figured out how to draw like hooded eyes like and recently, and I was just like, "Oh, yep, I like that." So I gave them to her. Um so yeah, she's the same species as her sister, obviously. She's a part of the royal family, obviously. Um I gave her a hairstyle different than her sister, so it's like cut in a bob, like right above her shoulders, just like a little bit. And then she has this like bun ponytail type thing. I haven't decided what it is. At the top of her head. So she kind of has like a top knot, like Zuko does in Avatar: The Last Airbender, but like cooler, I guess. Oh, it's Uncle Iroh vibes. That's what those are. So yeah, she has that. Um, So she's on the same team as Casey as well. Casey and her sister. She's probably still gonna be tech savvy and whatever. Um, yeah, that's really her. She's just what she is. I don't have anything else to say. And so here are the finished drawings of all the characters. So we have Isley, Tordek, and then Tin, her sister Nagse, Nage, not Nagse, Nage, and then we have Norman, and then for the main team, and then we have Casey, Agse, and Zuri for the other team with their missing 2 team members. So this was the main cast of my little Voltron next gen AU whatever thing that I created. And they are just very near and dear to my heart, and I just love them all so much. And I'm really excited to get started on their actual story. So yeah, that's this series, and I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!